Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. So today's government side has admitted that accessibility to the various information is integral when it comes to ensuring the accountability and effect of the war zone. OP can achieve that much better by keeping the status quo. Right? The government believes that the refugee can be a good alternative in providing information. So they assume that those refugees are suffering from lack of water, food, but they somehow magically have Wi-Fi and iPhone 7, Mr. Speaker. Never heard of United Nations providing a free Wi-Fi spot at the refugee camp, Mr. Speaker. So we need the freelance journalists, Mr. Speaker, because these people have ability and motive to get and provide the information from its unique angle without the accessibility of those, like, for example, mainstream media people. That ensures mutual inspection that they have provided. That ensures the much more clarification of what's happening in the conflict zone. That achieves the just war. That achieves the more people who commit atrocity can be judged and can be revealed, Mr. Speaker. That's what my partner has mentioned that we keep in our opposition bench stance. My substantive is, firstly, why it is necessary to make sure that we have independent information resources uniquely driven by the freelance journalist. Secondly, I'd like to talk about why it's going to be much more deteriorating situation if we don't have that. Thirdly, I'd like to talk about why mainstream media is likely to fade away if the conflict situation is going to keep for a long time. Before that, rebuttals. So, firstly, government side has said, well, we can regulate freelance journalists from entering the conflict zone because it's dangerous. That's not a good enough reason, Mr. Speaker, because it's not unique. First of all, it's not unique to the media journalists. For example, aid workers can go there, NGOs are going there, but also even mainstream media people, they believe that they're at the safe place, are subjected to be a hostage, subjected to be a beheading by the jihadi John and ISIS, Mr. Speaker. Guardian, CNN, all of those people are all in the dangerous zone compared to the regular life, Mr. Speaker. So we don't have any unique and meaningful difference in terms of this distinction. Second of all, they said, well, mainstream media can be safe because they are accompanying the military, accompanying the PMC that can guard those people. We don't really think so. At the moment, you're with American army in Iraq, where a lot of terrorists are attacking American army, Mr. Speaker. That you're also likely to be regarded as part of American military, part of the enemy and offenders, Mr. Speaker. That creates a much more dangerous situation for those individuals. Rather, we support that unarmed people just are working as an independent member than just visiting the house as non-combatant. That is actually not providing any kind of implication as offenders. That is actually much more safer under the status quo. Thirdly, they told us, if we pay ransom for those stupid people who got kidnapped, it is going to cause social harm. Then we don't pay ransom for that bastard, Mr. Speaker. There is no social harm at all. We just make them to take the self-responsibility. It's okay. So, about the quality of information, I like to clash with my substantives. Moving on to my substantives. One independent source is extremely important in the war zone. Mr. Speaker, first of all, the consensus. War zone is the most unaccountable place whatsoever because it's really far from your home country. It's actually really confusing. A lot of people are going there. Mass killing is out there. It's really hard to make sure that all information are going to be provided. Then why uniquely we need those people? Because we need the information from the victim side, not only from the offender's side. Because if you go there as a military, you have the full capacity providing your own information, your own perspective. But those victims are in suffering because these people don't have enough capability to provide that. Right? But the moment that mainstream media people can go to the village and talk to those people, they don't talk to you, honestly, because your journalist is regarded as part of American military, Mr. Speaker. Then we need those independent people just go there as an individual, and then talk to your situation as individual. Then we can motivate those victims to talk about their own story and provide decisive information, Mr. Speaker. Why it's important, Mr. Speaker? Because in order to move the public discourse, we need the decisive evidence and what's happening. And we get the more likelihood of encountering those information if we get direct communication from the local villagers. For example, we can provide a video of human rights violation happening at the moment. For example, Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq, or Fallujah mass shooting, including non-combatant, Mr. Speaker. So there are situations where government and military can lie or make excuse a lot of time by making, for example, false testimony or official press conferences saying nice thing about the American military, Mr. Speaker. At the moment, before there was a leak about CIA committing huge human rights violation. CIA has been keep saying that CIA has never done a human rights violation from its foundation, Mr. Speaker. We need the check and balance system in this situation, and we need a just war. For example, a less number of people from the winning side of the war go to the human rights court in the military zone, because there is a less media coverages that's against that. We need to ensure this counter discourses by securing the independent source of information. That is extremely important, and mainstream media is likely to buy that and show those things. And we need extremely important because it can provide a big social impact. Moving on to my second point. Why after taking proposal is going to be much more deteriorating? We don't have any independent source of information. Always you're accompanied with the military PMC. You're regarded as invader. People are not going to be cooperative anymore. What's the impact? First of all, when injustice happens, it's not likely to reveal, and we can't punish the people who have committed horrible things in the war. Second of all, it don't work as a deterrence power. It's actually creating much more bad things. My second point, why mainstream media, long-term commitment and extremely important. So there could be a void. For example, when long-lasting conflict happens, mainstream media is really busy by finding the top news around the world. But independent people can just stick to the region and then do investigation for 10 years or 5 years. Then we need those people's long-term commitment rather than like mainstream people moving around the world, Mr. Speaker. Then we can find, for example, the village is totally destroyed, but it's uniquely covered by the independent media, and then we get the sympathy from the world public and aid is going to that area. So we can actually need those people to fill in the void of the commitment coming from the mainstream media, Mr. Speaker. Then, what we told you from outside of the house. First of all, danger is not a reason to regulate people entering the conflict zone. Two, we told you in ensuring the unique discourse and mutually check and balance system in the most unaccountable place in the world, we need independent journalists. That's why we oppose.